I'm thrilled to be able to focus on some of the General Conference themes from this most recent General Conference. In the Saturday morning session, President Russell M. Nelson, our prophet, said this: "Never in the history of the world has the knowledge of the Savior been more personally vital and relevant to every human soul." This is a profound declaration from our prophet, seer, and revelator. This idea that of all the time that's been spent in this world, on this planet, that human beings have walked this planet, that this time in history is vitally important. It's more personally vital and relevant to each and every one of us, each person, that we have that knowledge of the Savior, that we know Him, that we study His life and become acquainted with His character and His destiny and His capacity. What a marvelous statement that is. That it's not optional in the sense of if we want salvation, it's not optional for us to get to know the Savior. It's vital, it's crucial, it's critical, it's elemental, it's foundational that we do this. That's the word of the prophet to each individual, and we need to think about how marvelous that would be if every person on the earth knew the Savior intimately and by experience and understanding His doctrine and living His laws. So that's a marvelous thing. President Nelson said, "Devastating conflicts in the world and in individual lives will be quickly resolved if all chose to follow Jesus Christ and heed His teachings." And obviously there is much of contention in the world of all types and kinds and degrees. And President Nelson is teaching us that those conflicts would be resolved and resolved quickly if all chose to follow the Savior, to live according to the teachings that He has given to us. That's a marvelous declaration about the power that Christ has to unify us. And that unity is not simply a unity in mood or a unity in error. It's not a unity just for the sake of unity. It's a unity in righteousness, a unity in the doctrine of Christ. It's a unity in truth. And so the world would be transformed by that power if we did that. And then President Nelson said, "In that spirit, I invite you to listen for three things during this conference: pure truth, the pure doctrine of Christ, and pure revelation." So the emphasis on pure, that this is to be undiluted, unpolluted. This is to be pure and pristine, non-contaminated. And it's to focus on truth, the doctrine of Christ, and revelation. So those three principles, those three key things. We need the truth. There is a truth. There is a difference between right and wrong, between truth and error. There is a doctrine of Christ, and that's different from the opinions of the world. And that doctrine can bless us so richly. And also revelation. We believe in revelation and inspiration, in God making known His will to us through His servants. So those three things He invited us to seek for: to learn absolute eternal truth, to learn how to have our lives changed by the doctrine of Christ, and to learn how to answer the personal questions of the heart that each of us have as we receive divine and powerful and potent guidance. So that's the word of a prophet. And it was certainly my experience that General Conference supplied me with all of those great, rich treasures. How grateful I am to be prophet-led in these days.